How it ends. I remember where I was when Judgment Day was announced. I guess everyone does. I was walking downtown when it came on the TVs in the store window and everyone stopped to watch. An asteroid was coming. And not just an asteroid, an extinction-level behemoth, as big as Hawaii and on a collision course with Earth. Scientists and governments had tried, but there was nothing they could do. We couldn't intercept it or escape to space, and nowhere on Earth or below was safe. In 3 weeks, humanity would end. It went about as you'd expect. Governments tried to maintain order with little success. Religious zealots stood on street corners preaching the arrival of the end of days. People everywhere quit their jobs since there was no point. Money was useless when there was no future to shop for. There was a 90% increase in weddings and a 70% increase in divorces, some involving the same people. Countries that had been enemies for centuries launched their arsenals at one another. Much of the Middle East ceased to exist. Suicide became a global epidemic. In short, civilization fell apart. When the announcement first came, I immediately went to the nearest store and stocked up on food, water, and supplies. Then I drove to my parents' house on the coast to hole up with them and my siblings. If the world was going to end, we might as well be together. The next few weeks went by quickly. My father and I had always had a strained relationship, but it's amazing how many petty grievances can be resolved when you know you're going to die. We ate, talked, played games, and watched old movies to distract ourselves. And then D-Day came. We woke up that morning and tried to pretend it was like any other day, but we knew better, everyone did. So we went outside to watch the sky. At first there was nothing. Then a bright light began moving across the sky as the asteroid headed straight for us, as it did to everyone, everywhere. We joined hands and waited for the end. And then... nothing. We looked up, the asteroid had stopped in mid-air. It was a miracle. Then a face appeared, made of fire and light, indescribably beautiful. And it spoke. Dear children. In the beginning, I was with you. I have watched you since your creation. In that time, I have seen love and kindness, but also enmity and violence, prejudice and war. I have seen you exalt those with the most and forsake those with the least. That is not how I made you. I chose to give you a chance to show how you would grapple with your end, whether you would join together in love or let hatred turn you away from me. I looked out to the ocean as the waters rose into 1,000-foot waves and the face above began to glower. You chose. Poorly.